Now, can you explain what's going on here? I'll play a little clip here of it. I apologize to everyone's ears.
I turned it down. Okay. This is actually what you're seeing, the sixth circle of hell.
Yes.
It's from Dante's Inferno, real scene.
Yeah.
Truthfully, this is a recreation of Chairman Mao's bad old days, and this is the time period that most people in China want to forget.
Except for a certain demographic.
We'll get into that. There was a time called the Cultural Revolution where everything Chinese was destroyed.
Yes.
If you're a historian or a professor or somebody that understood China, or a scholar, or someone that a museum curator, you were potentially murdered in the streets.
Yeah, teacher, anyone.
Because Mao said that was bourgeoisie.
Yeah.
That was bad, and we need to get rid of the intellectuals and get rid of Chinese culture.
Yeah, get rid of the old fours.
Yeah. People love to forget that.
This is the downfall of China.
Yeah.
This is what wiped the slate clean. Literally, it destroyed Chinese culture. That's why a lot of people, myself included, are very disappointed when going to mainland China, trying to find Chinese culture.
Yeah.
Because you always think you're going to see, you think you're going to see like temples and kung fu and all this, but it's all whitewashed. It's all garbage. It's all, I hate to say it, but it's just very hollow.
Yeah.
You know, you can find, like you say, remnants, but you have to look really hard.
And you got to talk to locals and stuff. Yeah. And we had fun doing that.
Yeah, you'd have to get like some word of mouth that was passed down secretly because you're not allowed to discuss it. Right. And the temples have all been destroyed. All the scriptures have been destroyed. Ones, it's so bad that when you study traditional Chinese medicine in China, the doctors actually have to go to Japan.
Because it was preserved.
Yeah, because Japan has copies of the old scrolls and things for the Chinese medicine, which they preserved, which China destroyed.
Pretty insane.
Yeah, I mean, and just go to Taiwan and you'll see real Chinese culture.
I talked to a TCM scholar.
Yeah.
From America. He's translated like Taoist texts and stuff. He's Lehigh. He's amazing.
Yeah.
But he was talking about the whole system. If you study any of this stuff in China, it's basically fake.
Yeah, it has to be.
You have to go and hunt for it yourself and find the truth yourself. Find the Tao.
Find the Tao.
Anyway, back in the day, in the gory old days, instead of the glory days, back then they would take intellectuals and they would torture them in the streets, right?
Yes.
And this is a
struggle sessions is what they were called.
Struggle sessions. And a lot of times people were killed in public.
Yeah, they beat them to death and
beaten.
Because they're all like, oh, look, he's a bourgeoisie, he's a professor,
teacher,
and they'll write down his crimes on his dunce cap and put a placket around his neck. And
this is what they're doing here. This is a modern recreation of this, and everyone's cracking up laughing. And this is what's scary, is that this is the stuff that most people wanted to forget and is now becoming popular amongst a certain generation of older people to laugh with and think it's fun, and it's good, the good old times.
It's nostalgic for them.
Yeah, because these are the people that potentially did these things.
Yeah, I mean, remember, a lot of the people that did these atrocities were very young.
Yeah.
So very young teenagers, people in middle and high school. Okay?
Yeah.
They were empowered by Mao Zedong and said, it
was a cool thing to do.
Go and arrest your teacher. Go beat him up. Go kill your teachers and your parents and whatever. Rat everybody out, and he gave it to the, that rebellious youth period in most people's lives. That's the wrong time to give them like power over other people's lives.
Yeah.
And he did that. So that now they've grown up, I guess they're like, hey, I really enjoyed that time. Let's have
teacher.
Remember that? Let's recreate it. So dumb. Why do they have like a Uyghur,
I don't know, dude.
Why did they gotta have like is that like a Uyghur ethnic minority costume there?
They've got multiple minorities.
Yeah, I know they do, but it just looks like it. It's like a spear.
Without saying, what's happening here.
They're just like, hey, it's a minority. They kind of have a hat. Here we go. Dude, we have this fantastic footage. Look, we can talk shit because we lived it. And I went to, let me explain this because it's kind of funny. I used to train doctors, okay? And I went to this hospital, okay, out in the middle of nowhere. And they put on this like play. Because you get this in every business in China. And school doesn't matter what, but like at least once a year, they'll have like a little thing where all the members of staff will dress up and do a dance, like a talent show. You've seen it, right?
Yeah.
So they're always doing something. And it usually involves singing and dancing.
It's in universities, it's everywhere.
Yeah.
I've been part of them.
So they decided they were going to do some ethnic minority dancing. None of them were ethnic minorities. They're all Han Chinese. So they bought on Taobao, which is like the Amazon of China, right? They bought ethnic minority clothing.
They just like typed in 少数民族.
Yeah. This stuff was atrocious. Remember?
It's just fake.
And I watched it and I was being very polite. And I was like, that's very interesting. They're like, yes, this is just a woman, this is our ethnic minorities' clothing. And they were like, here, you can have it. And they like one of them that they'd worn was all sweaty and stuff. They're like, here, you can keep it because it's interesting for you foreigners. And I was like, oh, thank you so much. Remember, I brought it up to the shop and you wore it on camera.
I hope you washed it first.
No.
Why didn't you warn me?
I don't know. It just didn't seem like necessary. Anyway, the fact of the matter is we've got footage of it, which we'll show next time.
Yeah, it's on a YouTube video.
Yeah, it's on a YouTube video. Yeah. And it's leopard print, like
it's made
headbands.
Up. It's just made up.
Random color.
It looks like if you tried to fake or describe some African tribe's like outfit to someone, then
during Pride Month.
During Pride Month to a Chinese person that doesn't know either of those things and then drew it.
There's nothing authentic about this costume.
Yeah, literally.
It's so pathetic, and you looked ridiculous wearing it. You look like Zoolander.
That was the joke. Yeah. We wanted to see if anyone would say anything, and nobody dared.
Yeah, exactly.
We wanted to see her like nobody's gonna call me out.
Yeah, it's so pathetic because there's no like ethnic minority that's got like a fake, looks like a prostitute's miniskirt, like headband.
Yeah,
you know,
it's insane and it's crazy. And there's lots of rainbows all over. That's why the Pride Month thing. It's literally covered in rainbows.
Yeah, it's so ridiculous. Anyway, so that's probably what's going on here. With they're like, let's throw in some ethnic minorities.
Let's do minorities. Yeah.
I don't know, man. Anyway, let's finish this ridiculousness off. You're gonna chop his head? What's going on with that big machete?
They're getting ready to do.
Yeah.
So funny, isn't it?
Yeah.
So funny.
Yes. In China, people do not want to get involved in anyone else's problems because it might affect them.
Yeah, they don't want to get sued. They don't want to be.
They just don't want their life to.
They don't want to. They don't want to get up.
She passed out from heat exhaustion. There are crowds there, and not a single person goes to help. Right? The security guard's like, I'm out of here.
It's not my job.
Dude looks over. He's like, whatever. Everybody's like driving past.
It's normal for that to happen.
Look, woman walks past. She's like, oh, okay. Like I said, it's the go-to in China. It is the norm to do this. Okay.
Yeah, to look.
Today in this video, I'm going to share with you guys how to have dirty talk in bed. Open your legs widely. Show me your private parts, you bitch.
Close my eyes, I can almost see it. When I take a breath, you fill up my lungs. And if my mind